The recession window is highly pointed towards 2023. Goldman Sachs says that even if we succeed next year, we could still be in trouble in 2024. Other experts think we are at the 50% mark of a recession, as a technical recession is upon us. Today's video will explore the probability of recession. Exactly what causes recession 2022. Let us get started. The New York Times has reported that economists believe that the chances of a recession are uncomfortably high. The news is based on interviews conducted with multiple economists and consumer analysts. In fact, Bloomberg also predicted a 38% recession probability at the start of July 2022. Anna One, the chief U.S. economist for Bloomberg, attached a statement to the prediction saying, "The risk of a recession in early 2023 has risen substantially." She explained that regardless of how tiny pockets of the economy are holding up, there is a larger issue to be discussed. She noted, the risk of a self-fulfilling recession, and one that can happen as soon as early next year, is higher than before. Even though household and business balance sheets are strong, worries about the future could cause consumers to pull back, which in turn would lead businesses to hire and invest less. The Bloomberg analysis includes factors like treasury yields, consumer surveys, and housing market data. What is more, banks like Goldman Sachs are confronted with the subject of recession. According to a second quarter report, Goldman Sachs predicted that even if we did not have a recession as early as 2023, we could still have one in 2024. We will share more about their projections shortly. Congress told Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell that prices must be controlled and people must return to work. This means that the policymakers need to get their hands dirty with increasing interest rates to keep inflation under control. However, experts are often torn on this subject. For instance, some believe that the cycle of raising lending points could tip the economy into a premature recession. Others, like W. Michael Blumenthal, the Treasury Secretary during the stagflation in the 70s, suggest stricter rules to fight inflation. In economics, stagflation is typically a slow economic growth combined with relatively high unemployment and rising prices. In governance, former President Jimmy Carter was the last president to experience stagflation. Blumenthal told New York Times that it was essential for President Biden to support Powell as he institutes newer hikes on the subject of the recession of 2022. According to him, inflation fighting comes first. You might want to take this time and subscribe to this channel for all recession updates, financial updates, and trends. In June, in other recession news, Goldman Sachs forecasted a 30% recession probability. Aside from the immediate projection, they also indicated a 25% chance of the U.S. economy entering a recession within the next 2 years if it avoids the immediate one. That means we have until the end of 2024 to be cleared of all inflation worries. Goldman Sachs believes we have a 48% cumulative probability in the next 2 years. These new updates came along with the Fed's decision to raise basic points in its baseline interest rates by 75 points in May. However, they admitted that the Fed's decision could start a moderately low growth potential. However, there is no way to properly estimate the outcomes of interest rate hikes on the economy. Aside from interest rates, external factors like the war in Ukraine could slow down the economy until it hits the rocks. We will present more on the mid-2023 recession date shortly. Richard Kelly, global strategy head at TD Securities, said on July 11 that the possibility of a recession over the next 18 months is 50%. Richard was speaking to CNBC, and he also shared 3 causes of the recession. First, we might experience a technical recession. Again, in economics, a technical recession is when there are 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. So far, we have seen a poor first and second quarter, and nobody needs to tell anyone that. Notwithstanding, the final declaration lies in the hands of the Bureau of Economic Analysis. On July 28, the Bureau will declare the state of the economy. Suppose they are convinced that a technical recession has happened. Their declaring it alone would sink all business prospects and sail any chances of the economy making it. Thus, a technical recession is like when a doctor tells you what is wrong with you, and then you die of worry before it kills you. Alternatively, Kelly suggests that the war in Ukraine could trigger the recession. According to him, Russia's invasion of Ukraine has left a surge in gas prices, which could weigh down the economy into 2023 and possibly cause a recession. Lastly, the matter of recession could be a combination of these first two factors. If the U.S. economy can sustain itself through a technical recession and gas price lags, it means there will be an overall slowing in the economy from all these dragging it. When that happens, then a recession is possible in mid-2023. Therefore, for the cause of recession 2022, we have hikes in gas prices, continuous negative growth quarters, or a combination of the two. What to do to ensure you have enough money for the recession 2022? We curated a list inspired by millionaires, wealth analysts, and financial advisors. Watch Make Money in Recession 2022 – Best Ways to Profit During Recession.